So I finally get to see where Chris Cornell came from today. And pardon me if you can hear the landscapers outside. Jeez, I mean, like, oh, you just gonna come right by the window. Oh, you just gonna come right by the window. I'll tell you what, that grass better be spotless. It's like he been right here for like the past hour. I'm like, dog, I gotta record. I can't. So anyway, I'm sorry. But yeah, I finally get to hear where Chris Cornell came from eventually Audioslave, but originally from Soundgarden. And man, after Like a Stone and all of the fun experiences that I've had with Audioslave, I really, y'all said, look, Chris, he was that dude before he got to Audioslave, and it's the reason why they called Audioslave a supergroup. So I'm really intrigued and excited to hear early Chris Cornell and what made him great. Even though we got that little bit of research, we know that little bit of information because this is our first official reaction. I want to get a little bit more info, so here we go. Soundgarden was an American rock band formed in Seattle, Washington in 1984 by singer and drummer Chris Cornell. I don't remember reading that he was a drummer. Or did I? I don't think I remember that. Okay. So he was a drummer as well. Lead guitarist Kim. I don't want to mess up his last name. I'll just stick with Kim. I'm so sorry. Both of whom are the only members to appear in every incarnation of the band. And bassist Hiro Yamamoto. Oh, I know it's not Hiro Yamamoto. Cornell switched to rhythm guitar in 1985, replaced on drums initially by Scott Sudkis, and later by Matt Cameron in 1986. Yamamoto left in 1990 and was replaced initially by Jason Everman and shortly thereafter by Ben Shepherd. The band dissolved in 1997 and reformed in 2010 following Cornell's death in 2017 and a year of uncertainty regarding the band's future. Kim declared in October 2018 that Soundgarden had disbanded once again, though they did reunite in 2019 for a one-off concert in tribute to Cornell. Gotcha. So a lot of breaking up, getting back together. That sucks. I hope it's not a Cream situation where, it's just too many egos. Which honestly, that's kind of the roots of all. Well, not all, because a lot of times it's money and business. But outside of that, and maybe some private personal issues, it's usually ego that breaks up a lot of these bands. Now that I'm really, kind of analyzing and learning a lot about these bands, ego is kind of like in the top 10, top 5 of why a lot of these bands break up. They were signed to Sub Pop, SST, A&M, Interscope, 7-4, Republic, and Vertigo. Vertigo, Republic, Interscope, and A&M. Them other ones I've never heard of. Okay. The band helped popularize grunge music, a style of alternative rock that developed in American Pacific Northwest in the mid-1980s alongside such Seattle contemporaries as Alice in Chains, Pearl Jam, and Nirvana. Absolutely. They were the first of a number of grunge bands to sign to the Seattle-based record label Sub Pop. Okay. No wonder I never heard of them. They're is based in Seattle. So they just signed a lot of the upcoming bands in Seattle. That's pretty cool. That must have been like a hotbed. I'm sure they did quite well, Sub Pop. I mean, all of these bands coming out of Seattle and like literally right under your nose, like I'm sure they probably did really well. Was also released in 1988 by the California-based independent label SST Records. Although the album did not sell well nationally, it garnered critical acclaim and was nominated for a Grammy in 1990. See, when I hear stories like that, that's the label. If the music is critically acclaimed and people acknowledge that the music was good, then it's not the band. You know, people forget, once you start to get into the music, of course, when you're independent and you're up and coming, you gotta sell yourself. You are your own marketer. You advertise yourself. You gotta sell yourself. You gotta, and you should still have that same mindset even when you do sign. But once you sign, your job is to make the music. It's the label's job to push it and make the money. I really don't think, again, and I thought it was something rather recent. A lot of labels kind of got lazy and there is no such thing as artist development and really trying to groom and mold artists anymore. There is no more of that. They kind of want you to already have your own ship rolling. But it's like to know that it was like that in the 80s and they expected you to come out just selling a gazillion records. That's just insane to me. Because if the music was critically acclaimed, I don't see how. Okay. But after they signed with A&M Records in 1989, making them one of the first grunge bands to sign a major label. Okay. Soundgarden achieved its biggest success with the 1994 album Super Unknown, which debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200 and yielded the Grammy Award-winning single Spoon Man and Black Hole's Son. I'll definitely check those out. As of 2019, Soundgarden has sold more than 14 million records in the United States and 30 million worldwide. Okay. All right. So it sounds like they had the potential to be a big band, but because of label issues, lack of marketing, and it seemed like they just did a lot of personnel switching really rather early in its formation. That kind of sucks, but it sounds like they had the potential to be a big band, but a lot of things held them back. So that's sad. And I can understand why Chris and everybody wanted to leave. So that's sad to hear. But I'm excited, man. We finally here and listening to Soundgarden. I'm expecting a lot. If it's Chris involved, I'm ready. This is Fell on Black Days. I love that title. I can't wait to hear what it's all about. I think this is a music video, so we got some visuals. So let's not waste no more time, because I recently saw a comment that said I talk too much. I'm just trying to do some research, man. I want to know who I'm reacting to. I'm sorry. I don't mean to talk a lot. Look, I'm talking a lot now. I'm sorry. Come on, let's go. So this definitely is giving me that Alice in Chains, Pearl Jam vibe, Nirvana vibe. You know what I like about grunge? It's really depressing, a lot of the music. But what I like about it so much, it's I want to think of a good way to describe it. You know, the way Chris sings, I fell on blind day, like it's almost like trancey. I don't know. It doesn't give me like a psychedelic vibe, but I do feel like I'm supposed to be high when I listen to a lot of grunge, when I listen to a lot of Alice in Chains, Pearl Jam, Nirvana. It feels like music you're supposed to be high to. But it's I don't know. It gives up, and it's like the music video describes it perfectly. It's very dark music. It's very dark. But like just a little gleam of light, like it has a bit of. It's just a grainy feel, grunge music, grunge rock. It's a real grainy feeling. It's like a lost feeling. You know, like I know how I feel, but I don't know how I'm doing a terrible job, as I always do, of explaining stuff. I just love grunge. I love it. And Chris, he hasn't really belted or done anything crazy yet, but he sounds incredible. And that little part that was about 30 seconds ago, like where he kind of went up for a quick second, Chris sounds incredible, as always.
Blackface. How would I know that this could be my fate? How would I know that this could be my
Here go Chris. Chris, don't do this. All right now, Chris. I see what you're doing. Hold on now, Chris. Hold on.
Cause I fell on black.
I love Chris, man. I can't emphasize that enough, man. I love Chris. Chris. Man, Chris, man. Man. It just sucks knowing that such great talents like him and Chester and you know, Joplin's and you know, just all there's so many great artists just depressed, and you know, you just never know what people going through, man, and it just is hard to see great talent. I don't want to say wasted, because even in their short period of time, all of them, they contributed so much to music and put out so much great music that their legacy lives. But it's just when you know somebody could have done a lot more, or you know, just a bit too premature in them leaving. It's depressing. It's depressing. I'm sorry, my coworker. I want y'all to leave me alone, please. See, this is the perfect song. When I'm dealing with my coworkers sometimes, this is the perfect song that I should turn on. Fell on Black Days, like my first day back on work. So I work on the weekend. So technically today, Wednesday, is my first day back. It's like my Monday. And this is the perfect song for my Wednesdays. I should turn this on every Wednesday. I Fell on Black Days. It was written by Chris as the 5th single from the band's from the big album, the album that blew him up, Super Unknown. Peaked at number 4 on Billboard Mainstream Rock Tracks. Included on Soundgarden's Greatest Hits album. Okay. A&M Records. They all have producer credit. I want to know what it sold. Can you tell me what it sold? No? Okay. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Beautiful song. I really like the music video. I love how it started as if it was like literally on set and them just filming them performing, and then ending on a, you know, behind the scenes shot of them recording the music video. I really like that. And again, it really felt like the visuals really portrayed the feeling of the video. Just black and gray, really grainy, really just raw. And that's all grunge music. But I can't tell you how many times I fell on Black Days, and it's a really I feel like it doesn't even have to necessarily be like a depression thing. I feel like everybody you just land on a bad day or bad days, like just a consecutive, like a week. Like you just have a week in the year where it's like there probably isn't really anything wrong, but you just fell on days where you're not okay. And you know, of course, you have different levels of how you deal with it, and you know how dark those dark days are. But you just fell on those dark days, and it's so relatable, and it's, you know, when you combine Chris's vocals with it, you know, it's a beautiful song. It's a really beautiful song. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and if I had a takeaway, once again, it's Chris. I think Chris, especially in that last minute when he really just went all out, he sounds phenomenal. And I know that's kind of redundant at this point, but he just sounds phenomenal. And he, once again, like Chester, like Joplin, it's so funny, man. It's crazy. Like, all the artists who suffer similar fates, like, it's when you just look at the similarities in them, and you see how they wear their lyrics. Like when you hear Chester sing Giving Up, the song by Linkin Park, Give It Up, and you see how he performs it, he's living those lyrics. When you see Chris, he lives those lyrics. Joplin, she lives those lyrics. You know what I mean? Like, and so when you just see how they all just kind of cope with life, and then you see the expression in the music, it's really haunting in a way, you know? It's kind of hard to look at them sometimes. But once again, beautiful song. I'm so happy that I'm officially starting my Soundgarden journey. And of course, I want y'all to request and recommend more so I can hear more. And some more Audioslave. I'm not done with Audioslave. So if y'all have some Audioslave that I missed or that I need to check out, drop it for me. But definitely, now that we on Soundgarden, I definitely want to hear more from them as well. So request and recommend it, and I'm on it ASAP. But as always, like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate y'all for watching. Until next time with Soundgarden, peace.